Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. The July 4th holiday is officially over for the year, and you know what that means? That's right, Halloween is just around the corner. Technically, it's about 4 months away, but it's never too soon to get started in all this costuming and festivities and good things like that. Myself, I love Halloween. It's one of those times of the year when, everybody kind of gets into the spirit. Everybody dresses up. They put on their favorite costumes. They go out and they have a big party. It's pretty awesome. Normally during the year, you see a lot of costuming and like at conventions and things like that. But for the most part, mainstream America doesn't get behind costuming quite like they do around Halloween time. So it's a perfect opportunity for folks like me who enjoy making costumes to kind of show people what we can do and kind of wow everyone. So typically when I'm doing costumes, I tend to go pretty big. Not just only from Halloween, but anytime I'm doing things, whether it's for a convention or a photo shoot or a video shoot, pretty much anything, I tend to take the approach of go big or go home. Now granted, I'm not the best in the world at this, so some of my past costumes have not quite hit the bar that I wanted to hit, but overall I still enjoy doing it. I do what I can where I can and kind of go from there. In the past I've done some mostly superhero kind of based costumes. I've done Judge Dredd, Hellboy, Thor, Captain America, Guy Gardner, Skeletor, the Road Warrior, you name it, I've at least thrown my hat in the ring anyways. Some of them have been better than others. Some of them not quite as good, but I've at least thrown it out there. And so the question arises, which costume should I do this year? There's a bunch of choices out there, obviously, and not time enough to do all of them. So what I've done is I've narrowed it down to 5 candidates. We'll go through the list here and see what y'all think about it. Number 1 on the list is Colossus, the X-Men's resident powerhouse. Colossus possesses the mutant ability to change his skin to a super metal. He also possesses super strength. Beyond that, he's also an accomplished artist, which kind of fits with kind of what I'm going for, so I like that pretty much. I've never really seen a really good or truly astounding Colossus costume. I think it has something to do with the way people end up trying to do the metal skin. That's going to be a challenge for me as well. I know that's the challenge for everybody is how do you do really convincing metal, and especially metal that's supposed to be skin. I've got a couple of options I want to go through. One of them involves body painting. Another one is possibly a lycra suit, then a nice shiny metal color with some stripes painted on it. We'll kind of see how that goes, but Colossus is a very viable option, and he's got a great color scheme going for him. Red and yellow as the classic look, and there's a couple other options we may also look at. So, number 1 choice of the year is Colossus. My second choice for this year is Marvel's Deadpool, the Merc with a Mouth. So Wade has kind of gone, he's run the gamut of good, bad, and all the where in between. And he's proved to be a fan favorite pretty much everywhere. He got pretty popular after some of his first comic guest stars and things like that. And he's one of those characters that kind of show up pretty much at any convention you go to. There's going to be at least one Deadpool character there. Most of the time there's going to be quite a few of them. So he's being a little overused right in the past couple of years, but he does have a movie coming out. He had an awesome video game that came out last year, and it had an awesome overall look of the costume design. But I'm really looking forward to the movie that's coming out, so probably leaning towards kind of a movie-inspired look for Deadpool. My third choice this year is DC's Firestorm, their resident nuclear man. A lot of people don't actually recognize this character too much, but some people do remember him from back in the old Super Friends cartoon show. That's where he got most of his popularity from, or at least I should say most of his recognizability from. But I really always loved the character itself, the ideal of a split identity, one part acting as a mentor, and the other part kind of controlling your actions and things like that. It's a very interesting kind of scheme that they have going on, and he's gone through a lot of changes in the past few years, so I really like it. The only thing about this one is I'm going to have to figure out how to do something with my hair and try to make it look like it's on fire. Don't know exactly how I'm going to pull that off yet, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Number 4 on the list is DC's Hawkman. This guy is the poster child for convoluted backstory and identity crisis. He's had more twists and turns in his history than pretty much any other character I can think of off the top of my head. And it's still a little fuzzy right now as to how all that's playing out. He was also part of the Super Friends TV show way back when, so a lot of people do recognize the character that way. And with a new 52 kind of series that's been out for a little while, he's kind of got a resurgence of popularity and a new costume change to go along with that, which is kind of gearing more towards kind of a savage Hawkman character. But I like it. The wings are what's going to be kind of the selling point on this one. There's been a lot of people that have done a Hawkman character, but most of them, the wings aren't quite as good as I want. Luckily, I just so happen to know a lovely lady who is kind of the resident expert in how to do wings the right way. So if we go with this character, probably going to poke her and get her in here as a kind of a guest to see what we can do to make those wings really pop. My 5th choice this year is none other than the G.I. Joe Storm Shadow, Cobra's preeminent ninja. He's another one of those characters that have kind of ran all the way around circles, and whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, depending on what time of the month it is, who knows where he's going to be this time. He had a really big, huge feud in the comic series with Snake Eyes, so it's one of those characters that's pretty much synonymous. You say Storm Shadow, you kind of also have to say Snake Eyes with that. But we're going to concentrate on the Storm Shadow character itself. Nice, cool, white uniform, ninja gear. He was featured very prominently in the 2 new feature films, G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe Retaliation. Both cool films if you haven't seen it. Not the best movies of the entire world, but I still like them. They're still cool. And it's got ninjas in it. And Storm Shadow's a ninja, and who doesn't love ninjas? So our number 5 choice is definitely Storm Shadow. So those are my 5 choices for costumes this year. We've got Colossus, Deadpool, Firestorm, Hawkman, and Storm Shadow. All of these are really great choices. They all present unique challenges in their own rights, but they're all really good, solid contenders for excellent costumes. And to be honest with you, I really can't decide right now which of these I want to go forward with. So that's where you all come in. What I'm going to do is going to send out a poll. I'll put a link at the in the description of this video and probably at the end of this thing. Go out there, vote on which character you want me to do for this year's Halloween. Then I'll probably let the poll run for a week to 2 weeks, depending on my schedule. At the end of that time period, we'll gather all the results up. I'll make a big announcement as to which one is, the clear winner. And from there, we're actually going to go through this, me and you, and actually go through the entire design process for this costume. We're going to start with just design sketches, picking out which actual costume we're going to use based on the character. Most of these characters have, 10 to 12 different uniforms, depending on which version you want to go with. I'll kind of walk you through all that. We'll pick which one we want to go with, and then we'll sit down and start the actual design process. We'll do some sketching. I'll show you some of my, workflow for doing these things. Then once we kind of get a good design done, we'll sit down and actually go through the entire process of creating the costume. We'll find materials to work with. We'll do some patterns or whatever you want to say, figuring out how we're going to do it. Then we'll actually just sit down and just kind of build the entire costume. That's my plan anyways, and hopefully this will kind of work out and it'll be pretty awesome for you. I think it's a good opportunity for people to kind of, get feedback into the loop here, so it's not just me talking to the camera the entire time. It's an interaction between us. And that's what I'm after here. Let me know what your feelings are, which of these characters you want to win, which is your favorite. So, follow the link in the video, vote for your favorite, and come back next time and we'll have an answer for which costume we're moving forward with. Until next time.